Hello everyone and welcome back to the practical series. This is our fourth practical. Already we have covered practicals related to chemotherapy, that is the topics, that is sulfonamides, penicillins, tetracycline, malaria and aminoglycosides. So today we will discuss some therapeutic problem, FDC and prescription related to tuberculosis and leprosy. So, what is tuberculosis? Is the infectious disease primarily affecting lung parenchyma. Is most often caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It may spread to any part of the body, including meninges, kidney, bones, and lymph nodes. Okay. So, tuberculosis is mainly caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now we will see the risk factor for tuberculosis. First one is close contact with someone who have active tuberculosis. Second, immunocompromised status, that is the elderly patients and the patients having cancer. Drug abuse and alcoholism. People lacking adequate health care. Pre-existing medical conditions such as diabetes mellitus, chronic renal failure. Immigrants from countries with some incidence of TB, occupational healthcare workers. Okay, now we will say latent TB infection, also known as LTBI. Latent TB infections occurs when someone has been exposed to TB but has no signs, symptoms or radiographic evidence of current active diseases. Okay, latent TB infections occurs when someone has been exposed to TB but has no signs, symptoms or radiographic evidence of current active diseases. If untreated, approximately 5% of the person with LTBI develop active TB disease within 2 years of infections. TB disease develop in an adult in an additional 5% of the person with LTBI over their remaining lifespan. Adequate treatment of LTBI can reduce the risk of disease. So the symptoms, they are anorexia, low-grade fever, night sweats, fatigue, weight loss, blood streak, productive cough. Test which may include sputum examination and cultures, biopsy of the affected tissue, it is rarely done, then bronchoscopy, chest, CT scan, chest X-ray, interferon gamma release blood tests such as the QFT gold test to test for TB infections. So, DOTS. What is DOTS? Yes, you have already studied in your theory lectures. Okay, we will see now. One of the main reasons for the therapeutic failure has been the patient's poor compliance after having a symptomatic relief. That is, the patient may discontinue the treatment. So, the revised National Tuberculosis Control Program therefore recommended the directly observed therapy using short course known as DOTS in 1997 based on the anti-TB treatment guideline advocated by WHO in 1995. Okay, so DOT is the directly observed therapy using short course. Okay, in DOTS program, the anti-TB drugs are given under direct supervision of the medical professional, okay, 3 days a week to ensure the best possible results. Here the observer watches and assists the patient in swallowing the tablets, thereby ensuring that the patient receives the medications. Okay, the observer watches and assists the patient in swallowing the tablets, thereby ensuring that the patient receives the medications. Many patients who do not receive medications under DOTS stop taking drug after 2 months or so because they feel better. Now the key points in the treatment of tuberculosis are the therapy must contain 2 or more drugs to avoid development of resistance. The drug must be taken regularly. Strict drug compliance is necessary. The drug therapy must continue for a sufficient duration to achieve adequate therapeutic results. Now, moving towards the classification of anti-TB drugs. These are classified as first line drugs, then second line drugs and third line drugs. Okay, first line drugs, they include bactericidal, that is isoniazid denoted by H, rifampicin denoted by R, and pyrazinamide. So one more drug which is bacteriostatic, that is ethambutol. These all are the first line anti-tubercular drugs. Keep in mind, except ethambutol, all drugs are bactericidal, that is isoniazid, rifampicin and pyrazinamide, they are bactericidal, and only ethambutol is bacteriostatic. Second line drugs, bactericidal, in that streptomycin, amikacin, capreomycin and kanamycin and fluoroquinolones. Bacteriostatic, ethionamide, cycloserine, thiacetazone, para-amino salicylic acid. And third line drug, that is clarithromycin, clofazimine, linezolid. Okay. Now, the second and third line drugs are used for multi-drug resistance tuberculosis, and also they are used in extensively drug resistance tuberculosis. Okay. A single drug should never be used to treat TB, as this leads to the rapid development of drug resistance tubercular bacilli. So mainly they are given in combination. No single drug should be used. FDC, this one is a WHO approved FDC. Rifampicin is 450 mg plus isoniazid 300 mg. Rationale, both isoniazid and rifampicin are bactericidal to Mycobacterium tubercular bacilli. Combination of these two drugs are synergistic. These two drugs are given along with ethambutol and pyrazinamide in the initial phase. So the duration of therapy is shortened from 12 months to 9 months. Use of a single drug result in emergence of resistant strains and relapse in almost 75% of the patient. Combination of the above decreases the resistance to the tubercular bacilli. Both are given as a single dose daily before breakfast, so compliance is better. Both eliminate fast multiplying bacilli so that response and symptomatic relief is evident within 2 to 4 months. Indication, they are mainly used in tuberculosis in the initial and in the maintenance phase. Okay, pyridoxine has to be added because it prevents the peripheral neuritis produced by isoniazid, which is given in a dose of 10 milligram per day. Now, peripheral neuritis, it is a more common with slow acetylator because of two reasons. Isoniazid induced increase in the excretion of pyridoxine, that is vitamin B6 in urine. And second is the accumulate isoniazid inhibit pyridoxine kinase, which convert pyridoxine to its active form pyridoxine phosphate. Okay, I will repeat once again. Isoniazid induced increase in the excretion of pyridoxine in urine, and second one, the accumulated isoniazid inhibits pyridoxine kinase, which converts pyridoxine to its active form pyridoxine phosphate. Thus, which due to decrease in pyridoxine, there it may result into peripheral neuritis, leading to paresthesia, burning and pain in the extremities, sometimes accompanied by anemia and skin changes. Peripheral neuritis is more frequently in undernourished chronic alcoholics, diabetic patients and slow acetylators. So pyridoxine is added along with isoniazid in a dose of 10 to 15 milligram per day to prevent peripheral neuritis. Moving towards our prescription. So today's prescription, first prescription is pulmonary tuberculosis for adult weighing 46 to 70 kg. The treatment is mainly given in two phases, that is intensive phase and continuation phase. Continuation phase, also known as sterilizing phase. In intensive phase, 4 to 5 bactericidal drugs are used for a period of 2 to 9 months with the aim of rapidly killing the bacteria to bring about symptomatic relief and to minimize the chances for developing resistance. Okay, intensive phase, 4 to 5 bactericidal drugs are used for a period of 2 to 9 months with the aim of rapidly killing the bacteria and to bring about symptomatic relief and to minimize the chances for developing resistance. Now, intensive phase is followed by continuation phase. In continuation phase, lasts for 6 to 24 months, during which the remaining bacilli are eliminated to minimize the chances of relapse. Okay, it lasts for 6 to 24 months, during which the remaining bacilli are eliminated to minimize the chances of relapse. The duration of intensive phase and continuation phase may vary according to the category of the patient. Okay. Now, the drugs given are, okay, before writing the drugs, you have to write down the details, that is Dr. ABC, registration number, date, and also patient details, and the RX symbol. After that, we will begin to writing the prescription, that is intensive phase. Drugs given are isoniazid 300 mg OD, then rifampicin 600 mg OD, pyrazinamide 1500 mg OD, pyridoxine 50 mg OD. Now all these drugs are given for a duration of 2 months, okay, which is followed by a continuation phase. In continuation phase, isoniazid is given 300 mg OD, rifampicin 600 mg OD, ethambutol 1200 mg OD, and pyridoxine 50 mg OD for 4 months. Okay, follow up after every month for assistance and appearance of side effect. Okay, now this there is also another combination. Now this combination is a daily combination drug therapy, which I have told you. Now this is a daily combination drug therapy. There is also another intermittent thrice weekly combination drug therapy. Okay, in thrice weekly combination drug therapy, in this regimen, the drugs are administered under supervision intermittently thrice weekly. Okay. In this regimen, the drugs are administered under supervision intermittently thrice weekly. Supervised administration is mandatory when drugs are prescribed thrice weekly. Okay. So over here, isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide and ethambutol. These are the first line anti-tubercular drug. Rifampicin, it inhibits bacterial DNA dependent RNA polymerase and thus blocks RNA synthesis. Now, patient on rifampicin therapy should be told that their urine, feces, saliva, sputum, tears, sweat and even contact lens may turn harmless orange red. Okay, so before starting this drugs, that is mainly rifampicin, we have to give the instruction to the patient about the adverse effects related to it. Okay, now pyridoxine, it is also added in intensive phase and also in continuation phase. It is mainly added to prevent peripheral neuritis. Okay, so our next prescription is tubercular meningitis. The drugs given are in intensive phase, rifampicin 600 mg, isoniazid 300 mg, ethambutol 1200 mg, pyrazinamide 1500 mg and pyridoxine 10 mg. All these drugs are given for 2 months along with dexamethasone. It is a corticosteroid, 10 mg intramuscular initially, then 4 milligram QID orally or intramuscularly for 2 to 4 days and then withdrawn over 7 days, which is followed by a continuation phase. Tab rifampicin 600 mg, tab isoniazid 300 mg OD, tab pyridoxine 10 mg OD for 4 months. Okay. Now here instead of ethambutol, we can also give streptomycin. Okay, streptomycin, it is a aminoglycoside. Now, isoniazid concentration in CSF in normal human volunteer is less, that is about 20% of plasma level. But in the presence of tubercular meningitis, higher concentrations are achieved. Pyrazinamide. Pyrazinamide has excellent penetration into the CSF and it is the key drug introducing the total treatment time of the drug which is susceptible to tuberculosis. Okay, so the drugs given are rifampicin, isoniazid, ethambutol, pyrazinamide, pyridoxine along with dexamethasone in intensive phase, and in continuation phase rifampicin, isoniazid and pyridoxine is given, which is, and the patient is asked to follow. Now we will see the therapeutic problem. It is a therapeutic problem number 16 in your journals. I will read the problem. A patient on anti-tubercular therapy was hauled by a traffic police for ignoring the light signals. Do you know any anti-tubercular drug which may be responsible? Second, what advice would you give to the patient? Okay. So here the patient was taking anti-tubercular drug and he ignores the light signal. So which anti-tubercular drug is responsible for this adverse effects? That is ethambutol. Ethambutol, it causes visual disturbances. Okay, moving towards our answer. So our answer is ethambutol, if used for longer duration of time, can cause retrobulbar neuritis. The early symptoms are blurring and haziness, followed by progressive decrease in visual activity, contraction of the visual field, central scotomas, poor color discrimination between red and green color. The symptoms usually disappear when the drug is discontinued. Okay, I will read once again. Ethambutol, if used for longer duration of time, can cause retrobulbar neuritis. The early symptoms are blurring and haziness, followed by progressive decrease in visual activity, contraction of the visual field, central scotomas, poor color discrimination between red and green color. The symptoms usually disappear when the drug is discontinued. Now, as the patient was on ethambutol, that is anti-tubercular drug, he was unable to discriminate between red and green color and was hauled by traffic police for ignoring the light signals. Test for visual activity should be done from ophthalmologist before, during and after the treatment with ethambutol. Also, the patient should be warned about the side effects of ethambutol and try to avoid driving till he is taking ethambutol. Our next topic is leprosy. Okay. Leprosy, it is a chronic granulomatous infection caused by an acid-fast bacilli. Okay. Leprosy, it is a chronic granulomatous infection caused by an acid-fast bacilli, that is Mycobacterium leprae, which is related to tubercular bacilli. Mycobacterium leprae cannot be grown on the culture medium. So, drug sensitivity testing in vitro is not possible. Mycobacterium leprae lie within the macrophages and remain dormant but alive. Okay. Leprosy is transmitted from person to person when bacilli are shed from the nose and skin lesion of the infected patient. It then affects the peripheral nervous system, the skin and various tissue. Okay, classification of the leprosy. Leprosy is mainly classified into the tuberculoid leprosy, also known as paucibacillary leprosy, and lepromatous leprosy, also known as multibacillary leprosy. Paucibacillary leprosy, only one or few lesions are present, and in multibacillary leprosy, multiple lesions with millions of bacteria per gram of tissue. Okay, paucibacillary leprosy, bacilli are rarely found in the biopsies and the lepromium test is positive. In multibacillary leprosy, skin and mucous membrane has numerous bacilli and lepromium test is negative. Choice and duration of the therapy for leprosy. Now, approximately 99.9% of the leprosy bacilli are killed in about 3 to 4 months by dapsone or clofazimine given daily, and within 3 to 7 days by rifampicin given in a single dose of 600 mg. Some bacilli may still persist for a long time. This is because though drug sensitive, the bacilli are not metabolically active. This persister can cause relapse over 3 to 30 years. Okay. So far, no drug given alone can eliminate all persisting Mycobacterium leprae. Hence, combination of a drug is recommended in order to prevent drug resistance to monotherapy, eliminate persisting organism, reduce the required duration of effective therapy. Now, classification of anti-leprosy drug. Okay, so the drugs given are sulfons, that is dapsone, phenazine derivative, clofazimine, antitubercular drug, rifampicin, antibiotics, that is fluoroquinolones, which include ofloxacin, sparfloxacin, pfloxacin, macrolides, that is clarithromycin, tetracycline, that is minocycline. Paucibacillary leprosy. Okay, this is the WHO recommended treatment for paucibacillary leprosy. That is, the drugs given is dapsone 100 milligram per day, unsupervised for 6 months. Capsule rifampicin 600 mg once a month under supervision for 6 months, and regular follow-up is recommended after every month. Okay, this one is a WHO approved recommended treatment. However, in Indian experience suggests for the best result, the duration of dapsone therapy should be extended to 12 months according to the Indian experience. WHO also recommends one-time dose for treating a single skin lesion of paucibacillary leprosy. Okay, for a single lesion of paucibacillary leprosy, rifampicin 600 mg plus ofloxacin 400 mg plus minocycline 100 mg can be taken together. This therapy is also known as a ROM therapy. ROM therapy. Why ROM therapy? R stands for rifampicin, O for ofloxacin, and M for minocycline. Okay. Now in pregnancy, leprosy is exacerbated. So it is important to continue the treatment with dapsone, rifampicin and clofazimine. Okay, clofazimine. Dapsone it inhibits bacterial folic acid synthesis. Okay, it is a leprostatic drug. Rifampicin, it is already been discussed earlier. It is an antitubercular drugs and it is a bacterial cidal for Mycobacterium leprae also. Okay, moving towards our next prescription. Next is multibacillary leprosy. For a weight of 50 to 70 kg, the drugs given are dapsone 100 mg per day self-administered. Then rifampicin 600 mg once a month under supervision. Clofazimine 50 mg daily self-administered and 300 mg once a month under supervision. All drugs for 1 year. Follow up after every month for assessment of response. Okay, so the drugs given over here are dapsone, okay, which inhibits bacterial folic acid synthesis. Then next drug is rifampicin, that is antitubercular drugs, which are also active against Mycobacterium leprae. And next drug is clofazimine. Clofazimine, it is a phenazine dye which binds preferentially to the mycobacterial DNA to inhibit mycobacterial growth. Okay, what is clofazimine? Clofazimine, it is a phenazine dye which preferentially bind to the mycobacterial DNA to inhibit mycobacterial growth. It is a leprostatic drug with anti-inflammatory property. Okay. I hope you have understood all the prescriptions and FDC and therapeutic problem. Thank you all of you and take care.